I'm Karen Bosick with Ion Sun Valley. You know, it was in 2003 that the Hunger Coalition began with a handful of volunteers collecting canned goods and passing them out among those who needed them. Over the years, it became not just an entity that distributed millions of pounds of food, but it became a big integral part of the community as a community builder.
I'm Kristen McMahon. I'm the Communications and Development Supervisor for the Hunger Coalition, and we are here at the beautiful new Bloom Community Food Center. In all our years at the Hunger Coalition, providing food support for local families, our local community, we were certainly getting to a point where we were bursting at the seams, and also just wanting to develop a really fresh, fun, healthy new approach to food support and food justice. You know, in our old space, it became very cramped. It was not very welcoming. We had a very tight space, so just space alone was an immediate need, and also just tackling challenges in our community and with a healthier, new, kind of more participatory approach. In our community in Blaine County, for as beautiful as it is, we also have a unique set of challenges with the high cost of living and low wages. So the United Way put out a survey that said about 52% of our community is either food insecure or one crisis away. So that's over half of us. And if you have over half of us living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet, something has to change. We just have to do better, and we have to work together in order to really join forces and tackle these pressing problems in our community. So that was part of the dream, and the motive for Bloom Community Food Center is how do we tackle such a complicated, gnarly problem like hunger in several different ways with a multi-pronged approach. Eventually, when we can go inside again, we have like a very bright, welcoming, spacious lobby area. It'll just feel better being there. We'll also have a community kitchen where folks can lead and lead a meal or lead a cooking class, sharing our favorite foods together, kind of really bringing out the joy that food brings, and having, free access to food, how wonderful that is for folks. Also, we have these year-round heated greenhouses, so we could be pulling beets out of the greenhouse in November in Idaho, which is pretty wild, and then you can walk your harvest over to the community kitchen and cook it up for friends and share with your fellow community members. We envision potentially having local chefs coming in to lead cooking classes. Maybe we would partner with the Culinary Institute and get some student chefs in. We'd also love being very participant-led. Folks that come here for food, maybe they want to teach everyone how to make their favorite meal and just sharing the joy of cooking and sharing a recipe, passing that down. So that's one dream for the community kitchen. We've also talked about classes where you learn to make baby food or something for new moms and dads, that sort of thing. Even formula, like infant formula making class has been discussed, or kids cooking classes. The possibilities are endless. Another beautiful part of this food center is going to be the year-round heated greenhouses, where we actually just started planting back in January, February, and now our farm team is already pulling radishes out. We are harvesting kale and spinach and mixed greens, and those are going right into food boxes for our curbside food distribution. We also have our beautiful Hope Garden downtown Haley by the courthouse, and our Bloom Community Farm out Quigley Canyon. And we're excited that part of this expansion is growing and building on Bloom Farm. So we're going from 1 acre and eventually phasing into 5 acres. So just that much more access to the good stuff, the good, healthy, locally grown food that everyone in our community should have access to. Oh, we'll also have our Bloom food truck for kids throughout the summer. That's a collaboration with the community library and several other of our partner organizations, where we bring food, fun, and reading to local kids throughout the community in our big, bright, happy Bloom truck. Another huge improvement, just spatially, was a much bigger warehouse. As so many folks know, we started serving a lot more food than ever before once COVID hit. Our numbers are still historically high. So this expanded warehouse couldn't come at a more important time. Just we can store more food. We have a huge walk-in cooler, freezer. So a lot of non-perishables are there, all the good healthy food that people love. We just have that much more space to accommodate that. Bigger food donations, everything. Everything's great.
Hi, I'm Roxy Ruiz. I'm Community Care Assistant at the Hunger Coalition. And what brought me here was that I was a former participant. I moved to Blaine County with my family 7 years ago. And my husband had a 9-month contract for work. And after that, work became a little scarce, which made paying bills and rent really hard. Luckily, a school counselor at the Haley Elementary gave my family a referral to the Hunger Coalition, and they helped me out, which saved me tons of money to be able to pay my bills and my rent. And without the Hunger Coalition, my family and I would not be in Blaine County. And so that's why I'm here now, and that's why I applied, and that's why I started working here. And I'm really excited about what the Bloom Community Center means for us. It's going beyond addressing food insecurities, and we are bringing our community together through food, beyond food. What I'm most excited about the Bloom Community Food Center is that we're going beyond addressing food insecurities in Blaine County. We're actually bringing our community together through food and beyond food, whether it's going to be childcare, cooking classes, or just helping out with food like we have been. So when the warehouse shut down due to COVID, we implemented a new system where we pre-packaged Bloom boxes, and we had our participants drive up and pick them up. But unfortunately, there's some that have diabetic concerns or other health needs or allergies, so that wasn't the most effective. We saw a lot of waste come back because our participants used to be able to come into the warehouse and shop and pick out what they wanted from the aisles, so then we saw a lot of waste coming back. So with that, we took initiative and we took action, and we implemented an online program called Smart Choice, and we started onboarding our participants either in person, through training, or on the phone, depending on how their tech savvy skills are. And they're able to come in and they're able to shop with us or shop at home and pick what they want, like specifically like if you were doing an Albertsons online order. Same exact thing, but it's for the Hunger Coalition. You pick your date and time for your pickup, and then you get what you need, and there's no waste.
I'm Linnea Petty, the Food Production Manager for the Hunger Coalition, and we're standing in one of 2 new greenhouses. That's our automatic vents shutting. Down at our new 110 Honeysuckle address in Bellevue, south side of Bellevue. So these greenhouses are 30 feet by 100 feet long. Clearwater Landscaping installed them for us. They've learned a lot over the years. And behind me you see a bunch of raised beds that are producing crops and have been for the last 2 months actually. And then in front of me and to the side are some of our propagation tables where we're making seeds, or we're starting seeds and potting them up to larger transplants to go into the Bloom Farm and the Hope Garden. So we will work with about 45 different types of vegetables this year, as in any other year, and we're really excited about the jump start that this gives us on the season. The food production for the Hunger Coalition, in terms of myself and 2 farmers, it looks like the Bloom Farm, which is out Quigley Canyon in Haley, the Hope Garden, which is right next to the courthouse in Haley, and then of course this area as well. So this is new for us, being able to do some raised bed production early season. What I think this means to the community is number one, an opportunity to access food. Anyone and everyone is welcome to participate at a volunteer session and walk away with fresh food. But number two, and most importantly, is a social connection. I think that's a huge part of showing up at the farm and garden, is getting the opportunity to work alongside someone and get to chat or come with your friends. And we all know, especially in the past year of 2020 craziness, that we missed those connections to our fellow community members. And then the third thing is, of course, education. So anytime someone comes into our spaces, we are eager to answer your questions, like, why are you starting this now? Or why are you making this into a bigger pot? Or, I mean, those are some simple things, but obviously most people want to know how to grow a tomato. We can teach you how to grow a tomato, amongst many other things. So food access, social connection, and then of course education would, I'd say, encompass like not the only things that happen at the farm and garden, but the most important things that folks are looking for. So this is the new commercial kitchen at our 110 Honeysuckle facility in Bellevue, and behind the camera is actually the dishwashing station, an ice maker, and a bunch of food storage, as well as dry and cold. And then behind me are teaching stations, slash also food preparation stations, and of course the cooking area under the hood and all of that. So this kitchen represents for us a journey that we aren't sure exactly where we'll go yet. First of all, we're waiting for inspection, and then we will be slowly but surely having conversations, building relationships with community members to see what they would like to see in here.
Of course, the new campus is chock full of meeting rooms and much-needed office space. It's still a work in progress, so stay tuned.